User Issues in Accessibility Space, an interaction by Mrs. Anuradha Biswas from Prakat Solutions and Mr. Srinivasu Chakravatula from Informatica.
Since you have worked with a diverse set of companies, services to product innovation, focused organization, and then you've also been associated with various bodies that set the standards for accessibility. So in your experience, you've seen various approaches to accessibility. How different is it from company to company with respect to the practice as such? And is there any commonality you see? Or are they as diverse as their business portfolios?
So, like she has mentioned, I worked with different product companies as well as service companies, and I'm also associated with non-profit organizations plus standard bodies like W3C. I see actually there are two kinds of customers. One is proactive and reactive. And proactive customers are somebody who actually takes up the initiative themselves and want to build accessibility for maybe it's some leadership team or somebody is actually passionate about it, and they start looking for people who can help them, and they must have attended some of the events like this. So it's actually easy to work with them. But there will also be reactive customers who want to achieve accessibility very immediately because they must have got either a lawsuit in their hands or they must have threatened to get sued. So, but in either cases, it's great that people come forward to touch upon accessibility, but it's being an accessibility folks, it's our responsibility to even convert reactive to proactive customers. But the approach generally, even I being accessibility guy for a few years, I actually recommend, because we are talking about accessibility only now and probably for last about 6-7 years. And shockingly, you would also get to know, if you look at real accessibility professionals, let's talk about India, there will be very minimum and the numbers could be in single digits. And there may be some people in double digits who are working as part of the, just for the accessibility, but who have got the real knowledge of accessibility and who really into profession or single digit, which we want to grow. But coming to her original question, what is the approach that people recommend is, since the code is already there for so many years, right? And sorry, Madhuji, we still continue to talk about digital accessibility because this is how actually even when we thought of Global Accessibility Awareness Day, all of us who thought are from digital background, and we didn't, we are not really experts to talk about physical accessibility, and we don't want to convey a wrong message. So even in my this conversation, you still hear a lot about digital accessibility. So we take two approaches. One is whatever existing products you have, whatever existing things you have, you need to work in a phase-wise approach to convert them into accessible. If they are really too old, forget, they will die someday. But you need to take a pledge saying that starting today, whatever work we are going to do, whatever code I'm going to write, or whatever design I'm going to make is inclusive, accessible, and I can understand for sure that we cannot make 100% accessible, but taking steps and walking towards that is not a bad idea. And let's actually take example of, I keep sharing the example, so those who hear my conversation get bored about it, but Apple, how it started accessibility for them is, they were also, initially they were reactive customers, but they didn't want to be as reactive customers. When iPod Touch was released a few years ago, an organization in the US filed a lawsuit against them saying that this is not accessible to blind people. And then they said, okay, thanks for bringing it to our notice, but let's not go into court. We will promise you that going forward, whatever comes out of Apple will have accessibility inbuilt. And that is how today you see, you touch any of the Apple product, though they are expensive, they'll have complete accessibility suite inbuilt in it. Yeah, mostly it depends on the companies. okay, the diverse companies, but mostly people, some companies still continue to work on accessibility as an afterthought, but once they realize, they start going back and fixing. But if you look back for last 3 to 4 years, the awareness level is really going high. And today, the education towards accessibility exists. And if I actually look at right now within the same city of Bangalore, there are at least 3 or 4 companies who are working for accessibility professionals.
Thank you, Asu.
Visit www.gaad.in for more details.